hello and welcome to episode 5 of Behind Doctor Who Online Adventures. This is series 2 of this, of course. Okay, who am I? Just to recap, in case you don't know, I'm Brendan. I'm the creator and current producer of Doctor Who Online Adventures. Have been for the last 4 years. Gosh. Anyway, you've just watched Decree of the Daleks. This is the first half of our season finale. Very exciting. Now, the story was written by Billy Garrett John. Now, Billy is a great writer. He wrote The Uprising for me in series 2, I think. 2 or 3, I can't remember. I think it was 2. And that got such a huge response. I thought I'd invite him back to write for this series. But this time I had already written a very detailed outline of the 6 parts, the 6-part series finale, but sort of gave Billy an idea of where I wanted Decree of the Daleks to go, and he took the script on board and I think did a great job. Now we've got loads to get through, but where we've left the Doctor's in Rassilon's TARDIS with the Daleks doing a deal. Somewhere on Gallifrey, Rassilon is talking to somebody, and he's warning them that the Doctor and the Daleks are going to do a little deal. And in the midst of all this, Maria has accidentally let loose the Parakind, which have been inside the Eye of Harmony, inside Rassilon's Eye of Harmony forever. In fact, they are the ones that are the controllers of the time vortex, but that's all to be revealed. Lots to come in Time of the Doctor, our 3-part series finale, in which case we're going to shake everything up. This is going to end like, I have to be honest and say that the climax to part 2 of Time in the Doctor is possibly the best cliffhanger I think we have of all time. I just think it's brilliant. So, we've got loads to get through. Billy Garrett John's going to come up in a few minutes and tell you about his writing. Now, if you're a member of the Facebook group, excellent, well done. Welcome, and we talk loads about Doctor Who. I loved the conversation we had about dinosaurs on a spaceship. Oh, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But one of the questions we had was from Simon Gilbert. I will answer some of the YouTube questions as well. By the way, if you haven't yet joined the Facebook group, there's a link in below. Do join, because it's great fun, and there's loads of Doctor Who fans, and we don't just talk about Doctor Who Online Adventures. So Simon Gilbert asked, how did you manage to build Rassilon's TARDIS console room? And how did I do the Daleks appearing in Rassilon's TARDIS? Well, the Rassilon's TARDIS console room is basically a mixture of the David Tennant console room, which had been up on a cupboard of mine for quite some time, and it got very dusty, and so I just decided to leave the dust, and then I put it inside the console room and then dressed it with a lot of stuff. Actually, it looked really impressive. And just to answer Simon Gilbert's second half of the question, how did I do the Daleks appearing in Rassilon's TARDIS? Very simple. You do a shot without anybody in it, lock the camera off, and then you put the 2 Daleks in, and then you do a dissolve between the 2. It's the same way you make the TARDIS appear, but with that, I also added a little particle illusion effect, which just sort of bled into the background, and you just added on top. Really, it was very, very straightforward. A lot of you are asking about how to write for Series 5, and I will come on to that in a second or two. Richard Ling asked, how big is your workspace? And do I find it difficult to get the camera angles in such confined spaces? Normally, I shoot on a dining room table or something like that. Although, on occasions, I have confined myself to cupboards because it's darker. Simply, it's darker. So my workspace is as big as an average kitchen table. And the sets are quite big. I mean, they're huge, some of them actually. Particularly I suppose I can give this away, the Panopticon. The Panopticon, which you see in Time and the Doctor, that was very big, that set. Yes, do I find it to get difficult camera angles? Yes, although we do a lot of moving shots. My favourite shot at the moment is the one where Maria touches the end of the Eye of Harmony, and it opens and the camera cranes down like that, which of course is just a handheld shot. But yes, obviously it is difficult. We try and get as many camera moving shots as possible, because I think they're quite interesting and they're my favourite. But yes, I do find it very difficult. Sometimes you've no idea the positions I adopt sometimes to get shots. Chris Copeman asked, how did you do the special effects for the Parakind? That's a Doctor Who Online trade secret, I'm afraid, Chris. We're not giving that away. Zach Morland wanted, when do you want writing samples for Series 5? Now, the next online behind Doctor Who Online Adventures, I will be giving away all the information on how to get in touch if you want to write for Series 5. But you've got to see how this series ends. However, get your thinking cap on, because we'll be looking... I have to be honest and say that the Christmas special is already in hand. We've already got that. And we've also got the first story, which I'm so excited that M. Justin Parsons is writing. I gave him an idea, a premise, and he's come back with something amazing. And I think it's actually one of the most unique stories. In fact, I'd love to see Doctor Who do it. You know, the real Doctor Who, as it were. Just a few mentions. Okay, Doctor Who Toy Adventures on YouTube. Hello. Very, very gripping. Where do you get your music from? The Doctor Who CDs, normally. Or sometimes we pick them up from KPM. It's a very, very good website. It's good music, and you can have millions of tracks. So we try and get a lot of the tracks from there. 2000 Doctor Who I think it is. How did you do the TARDIS wall so well? Well, the TARDIS console room is, of course, a proper built set. It's made out of resin. It lights up. And it's a proper solid set. It's not like a toy. It's more like a big model, but it's a beautiful set, and I absolutely love it. So I think I've answered all the questions so far. By the way, if you are watching us on YouTube, which of course you are, please subscribe to the channel. We need more subscribers. Yay! So now I'm going to pass you over to Billy Garrett John, who's going to finish off and talk about Decree of the Daleks in a bit more detail and how that came about. But be prepared. Time of the Doctor is our big series finale this year. I think it's the biggest finale. Part 1 takes a bit of a breath before we go into a whopping end. An end that is, well, it's just really good. It's so frustrating because I so want to tell you what happens, but I can't, because that would completely ruin it. But I hope that you enjoy the rest of the season, and do join the Facebook page. Okay, Billy, over to you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Billy Garrett John, and welcome to Behind Doctor Who Online Adventures. I am a scriptwriter for the series, and as you can see, I'm a massive Whovian. And I'm here today to talk to you about the writing process behind any script, but specifically Doctor Who Online Adventures. My whole writing thing started when Brendan entered the second series of Doctor Who. At that time it was known as Dapple Doctor Who. I sound really old. Oh, back in the day it was called Dapple Doctor Who. So I asked him, because I'm a big fan of the Dapple range, I said, are you going to use the Tetraps? For anyone who's not in the know, what was that? The Tetraps are a alien race, kind of a slave race, that appeared in Sylvester McCoy's debut story, Time and the Rani. I'm a big Sylvester McCoy fan, so I was even more excited to kind of write for Brendan. But it didn't actually happen like that. I didn't expect to actually write. I was kind of in jest going, do you know what, if you want me to write an episode with the Tetraps, I'll do that. And he said, yeah, right then, and I went, what? So I got given the job to write the Tetrap story, which was very exciting. And it was basically a kind of base under siege story. I took a lot of the ideas in my head of what the story would look like from Genesis of the Daleks. Originally, the story opened on the surface of Venus, but that got changed to the interior, and I tried to open it a bit like Genesis with the the barren wasteland and the Doctor and his companion travelling around, and they fall into some kind of danger, and then... But, as in the writing process, lots of things change. So I jotted down some ideas involving the Tetraps, and he said, I really like this particular one, but I think at the time I'd named it Day of the Tetraps. But he said change the name because it gives it away, because they're not revealed until the end of part 1. So if you have the title up there, then it'll give it away straight away. Unless you're clever, like an Invasion of the Dinosaurs, where they say Invasion, and then in part 2 it's Invasion of the Dinosaurs. Brendan then said, can you send me a breakdown of stories, part 1, part 2, part 3, what happens in each part? So I wrote probably maybe 2 or 3 short paragraphs for each part, basically outlining what happened in each section. And this is really helpful, especially when you're writing or creating a series, because I do my own Doctor Who episodes on my YouTube channel. It's a bit of shameless plugging, and I don't really go in with a full script. My computer's turned off. That's provided some light. I don't go in with a full script usually. I go in with maybe a few pages of notes, and I go, right, action to my actor, my 11-year-old cousin. And that usually works fine, but sometimes you really need to get the detail, and that's why most of my episodes fail. I was then given a green light to write a 3-part script, and because I was inexperienced, I'll be honest, they were very short and very poo. They weren't up to scratch. Some of the dialogue I thought was a bit scratchy. So yeah, that happened, and it was quite a few months before it actually saw the light of day. For Series 3, I submitted some ideas. I think one of them involved the Cybermen, and it was kind of like Enlightenment. So I was ripping off Enlightenment, and basically the Cybermen chased the Doctor. So yeah, it was like the chase and Enlightenment. Cybermen, big shiny gold thingy, Cybermen want it, Doctor doesn't want them to have it. And then there's kind of Sabalon Glitz character that's kind of going, ooh, I'm cockney and funny sometimes. He's not really that funny. And then Brendan said, I'd like you to do another story that I worked out. And I was very excited. I went, oh, that's exciting. So he gave me a breakdown of basically, very vaguely, what the story arc is for Series 4. It was all very hush-hush, but it was really interesting. It gave me enough to go on. It was a fantastic idea, and I just belted it off. And then, of course, came the inevitable. And whenever something exciting or interesting comes up, my body automatically goes, you can't have that, I'm going to decide to be sick for you. And I wasn't actually able to finish these scripts by the deadline, the original deadline. But then Brendan very kindly said, you have until, I think, the 5th of April. So I dashed it all off, did it as quickly as possible, sent it away, and he said it was fine. So I was really happy. And there's always a bit of elation when you finish a script, because you know that it's all fine, your work's done, you leave it to them, and you have to have complete confidence in the person that's going to be actually creating your script, because at the end of the day they're going to be dealing with it, and I have complete confidence in Brendan. So yeah, that's the process of writing. I hope I've enlightened your knowledge of stuff. That was terrible. And I really hope you enjoy the episode. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, so I've tried to be very vague about it by basically not saying anything at all. But I really hope you enjoy it. I really hope I can come back for Series 5. I hope there's continual series, and I hope you like it. So I will see you all later.